welcome in. This is the Candidly Bear podcast. This is week number 3. Week number 3. And guess what? It's August. It's my birthday month. So happy birthday to me. It's not my birthday yet, but it is my birthday month. And you know how we do that. We celebrate all month long. Virgos. I guess the beginning of August isn't Virgo, right? But I'm an end of August baby, so I'm a Virgo. Yeah. I just love August. August is my favorite month besides like Christmas time. August makes me so happy. It's my anniversary month. It's my birthday month. And it's like the hottest, yeah, it's the hottest month of the year usually. Last year though, I feel like August wasn't as hot as July was here. And maybe that's just Georgia. I don't know. Hopefully, it's not hotter than it was in July because my lord, it was horrible. But if it is, that just means more pool days, more water days, more fun. Yeah, we'll say that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be hibernating, hibernating for my birthday month, which would not be fun. Which would not be fun. But I'm hoping to find some really fun things to do this month, um, because the kids start school soon. They're going to be starting homeschooling in 25 days. So my official start date is August 25th. Most other kids who are starting school in like public schools and stuff, they start August 5th right now in our county. But because I'm homeschooling them and I dictated it with the state, when I intend to start schooling, I put on there August 25th. So that's the date I'm going with. And it's right before my birthday. So I kind of feel like we're just going to have a fun week that week and maybe do some exploring and maybe go to some museums. And I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but I feel like it's going to be fun either way. Start out their school year on a really cool note, not so harsh, very light and fun. But yeah, so it's my birthday month. I'm excited. I am so sorry about the delay last week, you guys. I'm so sorry for the delay on the podcast coming out on Sunday instead of Saturday. I do think that from now on, though, I'm going to have it come out on Sundays. I did not post that yet, but I think that with the way that the editing goes, with the way, any type of thing coming up can throw off my posting date. So I feel like just as a precaution, I should post on Sundays, post my podcast on Sunday. Last week we had a lot of internet issues. So that made the uploading process, the editing process, all of the processes that go into this really suffer. I was trying to do my editing with enhancements and do these really cool things that, I bought with my editing app. And I was not able to use those because the Wi Fi just kept going out. My internet isn't like on my phone, my data is not going to make those processes even better. It won't. Um, it takes just as long, if not longer, using my data. So that was another hiccup. Can't use Wi Fi, can't use data. So it just took so much longer than it should have to get where we were with the video, which just sucked because truly it shouldn't have taken that long. I should have had it out Saturday afternoon. It should not have taken all the way till Sunday, but the issues just did not get resolved. My husband and I were up trying to figure out the Wi-Fi at 3 or 4 in the morning on Sunday, trying to get it to work and everything because I wanted to upload it because I said by Sunday morning. And that was a tentative date for me to get my video posted. And we got in contact with like a person overseas that was for the internet company, and they were saying that there's something going on with their technical issues and stuff that they usually do throughout the night. And I'm like, oh my God, of course they do it throughout the night when I need it. And I get it because a lot of people are not up at 2 a.m. uploading a video to YouTube. But I was. But we think we solved the issue. Hopefully, we'll see once I start doing the editing process this weekend. I'm hoping that we solve the issue by dun, 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 dun. We got fiber optic cables installed. We have fiber now installed into the house because I just didn't want to deal with this anymore. It was so stressful and beyond infuriating. And then I felt like I let you guys down, I let myself down, and I just feel like even though this is the beginning of the podcast, even though these are rough episodes, and every week I intend to get this podcast to do better and better, and these are the first episodes that they are not the greatest. I'm not like proud of them. To be quite honest, I have things I'm like, oh, I need to fix this. I need to do this. The lighting needs to change on this. The editing needs to change on this. And that's how you grow. That's how you learn. And that's how, something becomes better. So I'm not like ashamed of that. But I do want it to be better. And I want it to be better for you guys. But even though this is that preliminary period where things are not perfect, things are still getting the lighting. I'm figuring out exactly where I want my lights. I'm figuring out exactly how I want to sit. I'm figuring out exactly how I want the sound, what mics I want to use, because I have multiple mics that I'm going to be trying out with different videos too, just to try and make sure that I have this crisp for you guys. Um, so even though this is that period, that rough period, I still felt like I let you down, and I'm sorry about that. I apologize, and I really appreciate all the kindness that came in from my DMs, people being so understanding and still supporting me and going and watching the video, even though it was uploaded later than it was supposed to. So I really appreciate you guys, and it really warmed my heart, especially since these videos, they're not getting that many views. I haven't been posting them and promoting them either because I am kind of like, well, this is the preliminary stage. This is that stage where I'm getting everything lined up to be what I want it to be. So I'm not promoting it yet as much as I probably should be, just because I want it to be great when I start promoting these episodes and everything. Um, but even then, for me to be in this rough time trying to make sure I'm getting these little kinks done and settled, to have the support from you guys just means so much to me, and I really appreciate it. It really just meant a lot to me. But yeah, let's to get back to what I was saying. It's my birthday month. I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do for my birthday this year. I feel like I just want to kind of go to the beach. I kind of just want to go to the beach and stay in a hotel for a night and get all dressed up, get all cute, and maybe just some family photos or something. I don't know. I just kind of want to do like a low key thing this year and just kind of be special. My wedding anniversary is the day after my birthday. So when we celebrate my birthday, we also celebrate our anniversary. So we kind of usually do like a nice weekend getaway or a nice something special or buy something for ourselves that will be sweet for us. I don't we always kind of do something cool. And last year we didn't. We didn't because we had just moved to Georgia. So we just went and did dinner and relaxed and stayed home and, watched movies, and it was still really nice. Especially the dinner part. Just getting out, and we hadn't been with each other for like 6 months because my husband was doing more training and stuff. So we were just enjoying the time we had together last year. The year before that, we went and we had like a whole weekend getaway where my mom watched the kids and we just spent time with each other. We went out on the town, we went downtown, we went clubbing for the first time. And this is like Southern Oregon clubbing, so it wasn't really clubbing. But we went to a couple clubs and drank and then took an Uber to the hotel and felt so cool. I don't know. We haven't done that in so many years. And not together at least, not spending that time and just having fun and going to music and drinking and just not that you have to drink to have fun, not at all, but it was just a nice adult getaway where we got to be like the younger versions of ourselves that we haven't been in a long time. And then we also the day after that we went zip lining, and then after zip lining we went to a cabin and we stayed in this like a lodge cabin uh, on the river, and it was just so pretty and calming. And then we went to the movies that night, came back, and it was just so nice. This year, I don't know. I feel like I just want to go to the beach. I feel like I just kind of want to go to maybe like Destin if my husband will let me. I only say that because like it's like a 6 hour drive. So to get past 4 hours, 4 hour drives with him, it's kind of like a pulling his leg. Can you please, can we go on a road trip? He likes road trips, but when you have multiple kids and you go on a road trip, there's so many things that go into that. And yeah, but I'm the one who usually is like, okay, come on, I can plan this out. I can plan this out. Can we just please go on a road trip? So I'm hoping. If I don't do that, I don't know what I'm going to do, to be honest. Maybe just go out to like really nice dinner and go walk somewhere, go do something fun. I don't know. Maybe go to Savannah. That's only like 2 hours away. That would be a fun experience. I don't know. Just kind of, I want to go do something, but also kind of just low key it, like low key birthday vibes this year. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what I've been thinking about. And it's August. Last week has been the end of July and just prepping for things for August. Calling, doing things, setting up appointments, going to appointments. Um, I still haven't done the homeschooling room. I have everything set up for it. I was supposed to do it this week, but I just was like, oh, I was so tired and everything this week. So the goal is like in the next couple of days, not tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to be editing and everything, but maybe like Sunday or Monday, like getting that room set up and getting it prepped, and maybe I'll like vlog that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be kind of fun. Kind of like have all these ideas in my head, but I don't know if they're gonna work out. But that's usually how it goes, anyways. But yeah, that's been my update for the week. And it's my birthday month. I just going to say it all the time. It's my birthday month. It's my birthday month. Treat me like a princess. No, no. Um, but yeah, today I want to talk about the human connection, like the experience that we have as humans connecting with each other. I feel like that's a very interesting thing to think about and to kind of dive into. I don't know. I get these random, weird, like deep thoughts. I get them like all the time. And this has been something that has been on my mind for like a few months now. And every time like something weird happens, human interaction wise or whatever, it all just kind of like builds to this like thought process that I have about it. And I kind of want to talk about it because I feel like it's interesting, and I feel like we can all kind of like learn something from it or just think about it a little bit more deep, because I think it's really important that we start to understand each other as a people, and we start to understand each other as different beings. We're not the same. We don't think the same. We don't do the same things. We don't have the same hobbies. You know, we all have different lived experiences and perspectives. So I think it's very interesting and good to realize that the way that we all communicate is not going to be the same. Sometimes someone saying something to you might be really weird to you, and to them, it's just completely normal. And it's really interesting to me how that all happens and how we judge one another and how we think of one another and place each other on this like hierarchy just based on our preference, like based on what we like, based on how we understand things, based on how we communicate. But not everyone communicates the same, and not everyone does the same things. And it's very interesting how even just different cultures, we do and think differently. But that doesn't mean that someone has less value or less moral integrity or less common sense or is less than you. Like I'm probably kind of, you know, yapping right now, but I kind of want to tie it all together here. I feel like as a people, we do so many things that benefit ourselves and benefit our community. And then when we see people of other communities or people with different perspectives or whatever, we look at them like, why are they doing this? Why are they thinking that way? Why do they hold that religious view? Why do they hold that political view? Why do they think aliens exist? Why do they think that, the earth is flat? Why are these people so weird, And I think what's interesting about it is, yes, there are some people who are definitely a little cuckoo in the coconuts, but there's also people who really are good people and they just think and do things differently and they are raised differently and have different understandings than you. And that's not bad. It's not a bad thing. I do think, though, as I'm getting older, I'm seeing people really hone in on themselves and their small community. And that's all that matters to them. And that concerns me. There are really good people who have different lived experiences, have different ways that they go about their life, have different views, and they don't live the same way, you know? Their lifestyles are different. And that's all okay with me. But then there are people who have similar lived experiences and yet they are so different in their need to benefit themselves. What's interesting to me is how we all come from different backgrounds and we all come from different experiences, but we all live in a society. And what I've seen as I've gotten older is a lot of people in society are looking to benefit themselves and not the collective. And we all do things differently. We all understand things differently, and that's not a bad thing. In fact, that's beautiful. In fact, it's really cool that we all come from different backgrounds and we all can come together and work towards the betterment of society. But so many people don't do that. You go through the grocery store and you see people who are just blocking the aisle, sitting there yapping and talking, don't even move for you. If you're there, needing to get a groceries, you needing to find something, they just stand there and you stand there and wait, trying to be polite and wait for them. And they don't move. They see you. And then there's another person. There's another type of person who instantly sees that someone is standing there looking for something and you're in the way. And they get out of the way immediately and apologize and try to give you space to look while they're looking as well. There are two different people in this world when it comes to that. And it's the selfish and the selfless. And we can all live like I said, with our differences, with our different ways of communicating, with our different ways of understanding. And that's beautiful, in fact. But when we live for ourselves and don't care about how we affect others, that brings a negative effect to society. And we don't grow in society when we act like that. So when you see these human interactions and you see the differences and the different beliefs and the different everything, like I've said, cool. That benefits our whole, our collective. But when we have people who are selfish, who can communicate but don't, can understand but don't, can interpret but don't, all because they have their whole worldview revolves around their life and are not open to the others around them. That is negative impact for society. And that causes us to remain stagnant. And why I bring this up is it's very important that we start to open up our minds. It is so important that we start giving the kindness, showing our love to one another, regardless of our differences. That we as a collective start working towards a society that will benefit all of us. That doesn't mean that you can't think of your family and your family unit and your small community first, and then also think about the people around you. It just means that you shouldn't close your mind and close your worldview to others based on your wants for your personal gain. And then when these ideals get brought into, let's say, politics or religious views and the places that they hold in our lives and our communities, it is very important for us to realize that we shouldn't just think of ourselves and what our output does to our lives. We should also be thinking of what our actions and our ideals and our belief systems and the way that we go about living in this world, how it affects our society and how it affects people in this world. Find it just really interesting how we communicate with people. Like, as a human race, our communication, I feel, has gotten way worse. I personally am someone who connects with people and instantly feels like I am either friends or am friendly with other people. Um, when I get into a friendship, it means a lot to me. I value my friendships. I value my family relationships, my work relationships, my relationships even on TikTok and on here. I value those. And I have friends from every walk of life. I have friends from every political affiliation. I have friends who are religious and friends who are not religious. I have friends who are different minded than me, but then I have friends who are very like minded. And for me, that's the human experience. That's what you should strive for. That's what we should be working towards is building that experience, building those connections, and not closing off to the people around us who might view things different, might do things different, might communicate differently than us. We might not understand why did they do that? But for them it's like that's respect. In my culture that's respect. And you're like, "Oh, I had no idea that that was you showing your respect to me." Weird little things, holding the doors open, pulling out a seat, not sitting until everyone, all the females are sitting, not, yeah, like all these weird things that come in different cultures. And not understanding someone doesn't mean that their intentions or the things that they do are bad. And I think that that's what we should strive for as a human race, is to connect with one another, and to be kind to one another, and to view each other as equal, because we are equal. We're a human race. We're a race of humans. I get in this talk with my husband a lot where we're just like, why aren't we connecting more with one another? The whole world as a whole, why aren't we connecting more? We are a human race. We are a race, all of us together. And if we have aliens that do come to this planet, we need to be able to connect and work together to save ourselves. But we are always fighting, and we're always bickering. We're always looking at who can be better and who can do this in this way and who can do it faster, and which country has the best democracy or the best diplomacy or the best government, which, you know, celebrity is doing this, and should we strive to be these celebrities, or should we strive to be our own people? Should we, as a collective society, work towards bettering our society? I think we should. And I think that that really comes with finding ways to connect with one another, finding ways to understand one another, finding ways to, instead of closing off our mind to all the things that other people do and other ways that people think, try and understand them. Try to understand their point of view. Because normally, not always, but most of the time, the intention and the view that you disagree with isn't a bad view. It's just something that you don't understand. Maybe you still will disagree with them when they explain it, but they have a reason that they hold those views, and the reason usually isn't ill intent. There are people with ill intent. There are people who are evil. There are people who are morally deprived. There are bad people in this world, for sure. And I feel like we actually have a lot more than we realize. But we also have a lot of good people that we close off to. We have a lot of good people that, just because of difference in political party, difference in basic opinions and moral dilemmas and religious views and even culture, we close off to. And if we were to be more open, if we were to be more honest and more able to let those people and those thoughts and those ideals in, we would benefit as a society. And I see this a lot with different religious groups, where even I in church was taught to not be friends with people who were not religious, who were not of the faith. Multiple faiths, multiple religions have that. And that thought process, I feel, is very dangerous. It's dangerous to us as a collective. and it's also dangerous to ourselves. Because if we're not willing to let people in and let different opinions and ideals and beliefs in for us to learn and understand, we are not only doing our minds a disservice, we're doing our lives a disservice. Closing yourself off is never good. Closing your mind and not being willing to research things, not being willing to learn new things, not being willing to even have the ability to see if someone else's perspective makes sense, does you and society a disservice. And that is a human communication, human connection, human living experience that we all see every day. I used to be a very hateful person. I didn't think I was. I used to close myself off and be very, very wrong. I used to think that my opinion was right and the people with a different opinion were morally evil. Because if they held the other opinion that was not mine, they had to be morally wrong and could not be of God, could not be of the right thing. I used to think that people who were even of my religion, who didn't believe the same passage, the same biblical scripture as me, that they weren't godly, that they weren't Christian, because they didn't believe in the same doctrine that I believed. When I was growing up, I was in school and I was telling this little girl, because this is the way I was raised, that she was going to hell because she did not believe in God. I was in I was in third grade, and I was telling another little girl that she was going to go to hell, and that her mom was going to hell, her dad was going to go to hell. That's what I learned. I was trying to save her. And in the process of growing up like that, in the process of living in a closed off, closed minded society, in my own little closed minded community, I hurt someone. I hurt her so bad. She was so upset. Her parents were obviously so upset. I would have been too if my kids went to school and heard that. But because I grew up and I lived in that small community, I had that mindset for years. And it took a lot for me to come to the place where I am now. And I want us as a society, as humans, to come together and to love one another and to be kind to one another and try to understand one another. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that's interesting to me. Why I'm even talking about this. I don't know, and I don't think we can ever get there. I don't think we can ever get there. We have too many people who are selfish, too many people who are closed off to anything that is not something that they know. It's not something that they grew up with. It's not something that they understand. So they close themselves off to it. We have too many people like that in this world, too many people who are also too religious. Yeah, I'm going to say it. There are too many people who are like this because of their religion for us to ever progress as society. And I think that the rise of religion will cause us to get even worse. And I think the rise of this political climate will cause us to get even worse. That's why Christian nationalism scares me. I think that if we have more Christian nationalists in office, we will see our world get more divided. We will see our society get more divided. We will see our the the benefit to the collective dwindling. When I say benefit to the collective, I'm not saying some type of socialist or communist ideology. I'm saying we should be thinking of others and how things affect other communities in our country as well. We should not just be thinking of how something affects one community versus, like we should not be thinking, oh, well, I live in a small town, so this is how the small town works. And these types of bills that are affecting inner cities, I don't care about those. Those don't matter to me. Or another one, well, that affects minorities. I'm not a minority, so I shouldn't care about that. Like that's not something that I even will vote on. I'm not even going to look at that on the ballot. I don't even care about that. I care about what's happening in my factory. I care about what's happening with my cars, the dealerships, the taxes on cars, the taxes on home buyers. Okay, cool. But I'm not a home buyer. The taxes, the defunding of schools. Well, I don't have any kids. But you should still care about what's happening in society because that's how we get better, is to care about these other issues that happen in society. Because if society is not getting better as a whole, these other things that are happening in your life are also going to get worse. They're not going to get better. You have to look at the broad picture because the connection, the human connection is important. How we connect as people and how we understand people and how we vote and how we have our belief systems based on how we view the society getting to the place that we want it to be, all involves human connection. It's like, you know how I feel right now? I feel like I'm that guy who's like crazy, like, ah! And there's like all these pins behind him that are going to all these different things because he's like, ah, I'll put that up on here. That's how I feel right now. I feel like I'm yapping. I feel like I'm yapping about this because there's just so much. When you talk about this, it's not just a moral issue. It's not just a ideology issue. It's not just something simple. It's a human issue. And it happens within every country, within every community. These issues happen because there are two types of people. There is the person who is going to stand in your way in the grocery aisle, look at you and not even move, not even say anything, and make you wait. And then there's the other person who will get out of the way and you both can look at the things that you're looking for. There are two types of people in this world. There's the selfish and the more closed minded, unable to care about other people that and the experiences that don't affect them. And then there's the people who care about people and care about the experiences that don't impact them, care about the issues that don't impact them, and that are willing to understand someone else's views that might not be their own. The closed minded, that type of person is so common, especially here in America and other countries too, for sure. Every place in this world has people like that. And they think that they're so right in what they're doing, but they are not benefiting society as a whole, as a collective. And the more that we have of that, the more our country is going to fall. It's very interesting. I see these things play out all the time. I see it on debates. I see it on podcasts. I see it just in the way that people talk about each other, talk about their neighbors, talk about people down the street, talk about coworkers, family members, friends. The way that we talk about each other, it's insanity. The way that we look at one another, the way that we communicate with one another, and you'd think that we'd be better now. Like after all these years, that we would have learned that these strategies and these things that we do don't benefit us. But it's like a drug to people. People love to hate. People love to put others down. People love to kick people when they're down. And it's sad. The human connection is tied into so many things in our lived experience. I only have a few friends, and I like it that way. It takes a lot for me to find a friend. It takes a lot for me to keep a friend close and trust. I have superficial friends, and then I have my close friends. And I know the difference. I know who I can trust. I know who I can call at any time of the night and they'd be there. And then I have friends who say that they're going to be there if I need anything. They're there, but they're not, and they don't care about me. They might say that they do, but actions, I feel, speak louder than words, and I really see it. There's so many other lenses when it comes to people and the way that they act, the way that they do things. A lot of people say one thing and do another. I can value so many people in my life, and I do. I value so many people, but I'm not valued by a lot of people. And that's okay. I don't need that. I don't need to be valued by other people, but it is something that I acknowledge and I understand. And I will just continue to be what I want to see in the world. I will continue to be the light that I hope we can spread as a collective. I will be that, and I hope you guys will too. I know that this is a lot of talking, a lot of yapping. I just feel like it's such an interesting and important thing to talk about because, like I've said so many times before, we all have different perspectives, different lived experiences, and belief systems, but we should all love each other. We should all be kind to one another. And we should just freaking stop being assholes. I just, I don't get it. I don't think I will ever understand it. But some people, it's all they know. It's all they know. And I hope that if you're watching this, that even if this is all you know, if your opinions and your perspectives are all you know, I really hope that you can open your mind and listen to other people. Just listen. And if you don't have the same opinion as them, and if you don't agree with them in the end, That's great. That's fine. You don't have to change your opinion, but just understanding someone, understanding others that are not experiencing the same life as you is a valuable trait to have. Just be understanding. Listen. Try to understand their experience, understand their point of view, even if it doesn't align with yours. At least you understand why they have that view. At least you understand who they are. If they're a bad person, they're just a bad person. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it just, you see it and you're like, oh, nope, I am not getting into that. And that's okay too. You got to protect your peace. You got to protect your mental health, and you got to protect your own little community. That is important. You do have to think of yourself and your community, but you also should be thinking of others and how things affect others, and at least come to these under your understanding with the understanding of others as well. I know that was a long one. It was everything I was trying to think of to talk about today. It didn't feel right. But this felt right, and I decided I should just talk on it. We can just have this little session of talking with each other, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. And now you get to go with me on my little journey to get a Popeyes ghost pepper sandwich. Wish me luck. Sincerely, the Candidly Bear Podcast.
Hey guys, so we're gonna go to Popeyes and get the ghost pepper sandwich, the ghost pepper chicken sandwich, and then we're gonna try it. It's another one for you guys. This is all for you. Here we go. I'm gonna go in just a second. I just did a pickup order, so it's gonna be ready soon, but it's not ready yet. So kind of sitting in here for a little bit. My hair is still like drying from the shower earlier, and the Georgia heat is just messing with it. I could already feel it messing with it. Like, I don't like blow drying though because of the damage it can cause to my hair, and I'm trying to keep it healthy. But yeah, I'm excited to eat. I'm really hungry. But the ghost pepper sandwich has me a little nervous. I think I'm just going to cut it in half and give half to my husband and half to me so he can try it on his own too. I got like the tender family meal and the blackened tenders for the kids, myself, and my husband. So that'll be my main meal for later. But I'm going to try this ghost pepper sandwich for you guys. I'm going to try it. I tried, so when I was 11, my uncle had ghost peppers, and I tried one, and there was like a video. I tried to find the video. I think my uncle has on a DVD. That's how old I am. And I can't clip it here and put it on for you guys, but I tried it when I was like 11, 6th grade, and we did it during the Super Bowl, so like it's like one of those memories that sticks in your mind, because it like I just remember the Super Bowl commercials going on in the background and me like dying. I was dying. It was so hot and everything. So I'm sure that this sandwich isn't as bad, right? Because it's like from a restaurant, like fast food restaurant, you know. I'm sure it's not that bad. But yeah, doing it for you guys, doing it for you. Okay, I think it's time to go in. I'm gonna go get it. So we got the goods. Now we're gonna go try it.
Okay, so we have the ghost pepper Popeyes chicken sandwich. I'm gonna cut it in half, and then the other half is gonna go to my husband. Okay. We'll see if he will like it or not. Okay. Oh. That looks breaded. That looks so breaded. Maybe that's just how it is. Okay. Last time I had anything ghost pepper was when I had the ghost pepper, the actual ghost pepper, when I was 11 on Super Bowl Sunday. It's been a long time. It's been years. So I'm sure that this isn't as hot as that, right? Because this is just ghost pepper chicken sandwich. It's not the actual ghost pepper. I'm sure it's not as hot. I have my diet root beer here, though, just in case. Okay. Okay. It wasn't hot until it went down my throat. It went down my throat, and I feel it. It's not that bad. It's actually not that bad. It tastes really good. It tastes pretty freaking awesome, actually. But it is hot when it goes down my throat. Doesn't last too long, though. The heat from that, the sting from that, does not last too long. It's actually not that bad. Yeah, I can actually finish this and like it and be happy. So, thumbs up. This is a really good. I love the Popeyes chicken sandwich anyways. So, I'm a fan of Popeyes chicken sandwiches. Now it's a lot more. You can see the chicken. Now you see the chicken. It is breaded, but it's not as bad as I thought it was with the breading. You have to get into it. Yeah, not bad. First bite took me a little bit. Once it goes down your throat, that's when you feel it. I did not feel it really while chewing. Tastes really good. It has a really good spicy taste, but not too spicy. When it goes down your throat, you kind of feel it. But no, I enjoy this. This is really good. I really like Popeyes. This is a good choice. Yeah. This is actually pretty good, you guys. Actually pretty good. I recommend it. I would say for chicken sandwich, I'm 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Yeah. Pretty good. It would be better, just a little less breaded. And if it wasn't, I do like the spice though now. I'm liking the spice. I don't know. Maybe even a sauce added to this would be really good. But no, it's really good, you guys. Ghost pepper, the Popeyes ghost pepper chicken sandwich. I recommend it, actually. I saw it and I was like, oh, I should try that for the video. But then I was like, oh, what am I doing to myself? It's actually pretty good. I'm happy with what I'm doing to myself. I'm happy. All right. Well, thanks for coming on this little journey with me and hanging out with me today. I know that we got into a really serious talk on the podcast, but it was a good talk. It was a really good talk, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. If not, there's always next week. So I appreciate all of you, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Happy August. Happy August. It is my birthday month, so happy August, you guys, and I love you all. Sincerely, the Candidly Bear podcast. See you next week.